In this video, we're going to look at a chart example, a simple example of stacking these layers of edge together to give us a higher probability of success in our trade. Stay tuned. Hey guys, a very warm welcome to you. So we are part 4 now, and we're talking about stacking these layers of edge together. I'm going to look at a very simple example, and the examples are going to be this. We're going to look at just trading off a support and resistance level, and just trading with a trend, and then we're going to combine the two. So we isolate each individual one, so we know we've got an edge on its own just trading with support and resistance. We know we've got an edge on its own trading with a trend, uptrend or downtrend. But if we combine the two, have we got more of a powerful edge? So let's have a look at that. So a little example here now. I've got a question for you. Not all support and resistance is created equal. If we were stripping out everything else, and we were purely looking at a strategy of, hey, you have to take a short trade and everything else is equal, and we kind of put a gun to your head kind of thing here. You've got to take a short. You can't take a long, you have to take a short. Which one of these would you prefer to take the short trade? The pattern. Imagine this is a chart pattern. In this instance, we've got a good uptrend coming up. Let's say it's on a daily chart. It's tagged once, come down, tagged again. Would you prefer to take that short, or the second one on the right? We've got a good downtrend, comes up to a resistance level, touches it, tries to push down, comes up to a resistance level, touches it. Which one would you prefer to take the short trade? Okay, now I'm going to give you my answer, and let's just put the caveat in there now. Trading isn't black and white, guys. This is purely from an example from stacking this layers of edge. I know there are strategies out there where we can trade against the trend and all this kind of stuff, but what I'm trying to get home to you is, hey, I would take this one all day, every day, because this is a downtrend and it's struggling to get back above a level of resistance. It's banging its head. It's already got the wind behind it. It's pushing up, it's struggling, it's pushing up, it's struggling. And by the very definition of a trend, is that it's going to keep breaking lows if we're in a downtrend, or keep breaking highs if we're in a downtrend. So the one on the left, whilst there are some strategies that this may well work, if we're just isolating it purely from here, I wouldn't want to short that at all compared to this, because we're in an uptrend and we're about to break new highs. And the definition of an uptrend is that we keep breaking new highs. And I'm now trying to be clever and predict the turn of the trend. Not to say it can't be done, accepting that, but this is a far better kind of proposition for me. Bear market, very aggressive downtrend, pushing up. You know, the kind of tide has turned a little bit, but it just can't get up. You know, this is a classical sell the pullback trade, but you've also got that added layer of edge that, hey, it's actually stopped already. It's not a case of I'm just guessing where it stopped. It's banged its head. It's banged its head again. Now I've got a good place to go in. I'm with the trend. I know I want to be short with the trend. I'm finding a place to go with the trend. Whereas the one on the left-hand side, you know, I'm kind of trying to pick a top here. I'm trying to be clever. Yes, there may be a double top, but look at the difference. It's a double top at the top of a trend as opposed to a double top in the midst of a downtrend. Far, far, far more powerful. And I can tell you from experience that this pattern alone, it was very, very good for me when we were trading that oil, when oil was coming off those highs years and years ago. Brutal down days coming up, you know, struggling. You could see it kind of really aggressive moves, then it would kind of struggle, and the next wave of selling would come in. Excuse me. So it's understanding that really, you know, stacking the layers of edge. So we're already saying, okay, listen, if we can trade with the trend and we can use that support and resistance, in the case of it's an uptrend, we want support. If it's a case of a downtrend, we want resistance, because obviously we're selling. We're combining these two edges. Already we're creating a much better chance of success. And I've got a kind of literally not the best example out there, but the most useful example, because of the S&P 500, and we know that for the past however many years it's been a bull market in the US indices. So great example. And it's not a cherry-picked example, but it's a good one because it's a real-world example. And if you look here, guys, okay, if we had been shorting tags of resistance here, you know, eventually we're going to get stuffed. Not to say there's not opportunity there, but it's not going to work out for us because the very nature of an uptrend is we break to new highs. You know, there's a resistance there. Okay, you get a little bit of juice there, but it breaks through. you know, you get a resistance then coming up here, and yes, you get this little bit of a lucky downtrend, but eventually it breaks through. Now if you flip it on its head and you said, listen, if I bought, and I'm not being hindsight Harry here, guys, and saying, oh yes, if you're in an uptrend and a bull market, if you were really clever and you bought on every dip, you'd be you know, a bazillionaire by now. You know, we both know the score. That's not the score. But the point is, what I'm saying is, listen, if you align yourself with the trend and then you try and add that layer of edge of buying at support, it's a far more likely proposition that if you continue to do that, you'll have success as opposed to selling at resistance, selling at resistance. So look at this support. You get support and off it goes again. Comes back, find a little bit of support, off it goes again. Find a bit of support, off it goes again. You know, anywhere that you've had support, it doesn't always work, of course not. But the point being that if you can align yourself with that uptrend, we've got a nice uptrend here, and you can find levels to buy at support, you're just stacking your layers of edge. And that's the most important thing you can do. Let me just move this down so you can see it, guys, because I know I'm stuck in the way. There, you know, we can see we're just level of support here, buying at support, buying at support, and that's the whole point of it. Because I know my video is stuck in the way. The whole point is that you're combining the two things. And yes, and I know I'm revisiting this because I know that trading isn't black and white, and you can't just say, okay, I'm going to buy at support every time in a trend. But if you look at the number of occurrences, what we're doing here, we're looking at over time. If we did the consistent thing, same thing over time, what would be more beneficial to us? Because from that we can build a foundation of a more intricate and advanced strategy. But if we get the basics in place, and that, listen, we're an uptrend, we want to stay long, we want to buy support, we know that if we were buying an uptrend, if we do that enough times, we're going to make money. If we buy at support, we're going to make money. If we combine the two over enough period of time, we're going to make money. And that's what we're trying to build the foundation. Okay guys, stay tuned for part 5 where we'll go to some more examples, look at some more detail and more edges and real world chart examples. Stay tuned. Bye bye.